Hi there, gorgeous, and a very happy drugstore December to you. If you have not heard, every video coming out this entire month has a drugstore or affordable theme to it, like today's video, and I'm also publishing 5 videos a week. So if you'd like to be notified of new content like this all month long, please subscribe, and thank you if you do. In today's video, I am sharing some more Tom Ford lipstick dupes with you. The specific shades I'm showing you today are Night Mauve, Indian Rose, Casablanca, and Impassioned. Now, I did do a video just like this one a little over a year ago with 6 other Tom Ford lipsticks that I duped out. One of them was Spanish Pink. I can't remember the other ones off the top of my head, but there were a lot of really popular, very highly requested Tom Ford shades in that video. That video did extremely well, so if you happen to miss it, I'll have that one linked below for you also. The beauty of this video is that all the dupes I'm sharing with you are $10 and under. And if you know anything about Tom Ford lipsticks, they retail for $55 a piece. So if you can find a dupe for the color, yeah, it's a good day. First shade that I want to share with you is Tom Ford's Casablanca. I feel like this one is such a popular color because it's a beautiful rose neutral. It's the perfect mixture of pink. It's like your lip color, but better. And there are a couple of dupes that you can try in place of this shade. First one being Maybelline's Touch of Spice. Same exact color between these two. The only difference that you'll see between them is the finish. The Maybelline shade has a bit more of a matte formula to it. It's a lot less shiny compared to the Tom Ford formula. Tom Ford's version is really pigmented, but Maybelline's is too, so there's no real competition there between the two. But in terms of being an exact match for the color, and if you were wearing one in place of the other, I really do not think that anyone would be able to tell the difference, and this is a great quality lipstick. Another one that you can try for Casablanca is one from Flower Beauty, and that is Autumn Rose. Similar shade to Casablanca, a little different when you really study them side by side, and the formula is different with this one also. It's like Maybelline, a more matte formula, but when you get them on the lips, really hard to detect a difference, hard to tell them apart. And for that reason, I feel like it is another excellent dupe for this shade. The next Tom Ford lipstick I have to dupe for you is the one called Impassioned. This is a wine-based red. It's not a blue-based red in terms of being a stark contrast, and it's not a deep wine berry either. It's in the middle of those two. And the dupe that I was able to find comes from Wet n Wild, surprisingly, and that is their shade called Jam With Me. But if you look closely at both of the lipstick swatches, they are both streaky. Really disappointing to see that for a Tom Ford lipstick, especially given the price point, but in this case, it works because the Wet n Wild one is just as streaky, and the Wet n Wild one does require several layers to get it to really show up. But once you get them both on the lips and you look at them side by side, you really cannot tell a difference. You are given a lot more pigment with the Tom Ford lipstick compared to the Wet n Wild one, but we're talking in terms of color, identical between these two. And even that streaky formula is a good match. Next Tom Ford lipstick I have to share with you is Night Mauve. This is stunning. I would describe it as a pinky red. Definitely in the red family, but on the much lighter side of it. In terms of a drugstore dupe, you can find an exact match from Revlon's line in the shade Berry Rich. Formulas between these two are identical. Revlon has a very rich, pigmented gloss finish to it that matches exactly to the Tom Ford gloss finish. You cannot tell them apart, and an all-around excellent dupe. That brings us to the last Tom Ford lipstick I have to share with you today. This one was a very highly requested one when I made the first video on Tom Ford lipstick dupes. I could not get it at the time. It was sold out everywhere I looked for it, so I was finally able to get my hands on it, and that is Indian Rose. This, I can see why it's a popular shade. I can see why so many people are looking for a dupe of it. I'm going to see if I can describe it to you. It's a really light, it's not light, it's more of a medium rose neutral. It's got the perfect amount of pink. It's like your lip color, but better. It's one of those kinds of shades. Now, we'll tell you that this one is a little harder to dupe when it comes to finding a drugstore counterpart. There were 2 shades that I feel like came really, really close. And so I'll show you what they look like up close here, and you can make a determination as to which one you feel is the better dupe of the two. The first one is from Flower, and this is the one called Spiced Petal. If you recall, this is also a dupe for Charlotte Tilbury's Pillow Talk lipstick, so you get 2 for 1 here if you get this lipstick. And I feel like this is the most comparable shade to Indian Rose, and I tried out so many. There are so many shades I have like this, and this one was the absolute closest of them all in terms of finish and color. The other one I want to share with you that is close but not exact, but it's a really good runner-up, is one from NYX, and that's the shade called Eurotrash. One thing that I was able to detect between these two shades is that Eurotrash has a bit more peach orange undertones to it compared to the pure pink pigment of Indian Rose, but they're still really, really similar, and it was hard for me not to tell you about this one because of the similarities between the two. And so that's why I wanted to include it, to give you another option. Alternatively, if you don't mind spending a little bit more, I'm talking about $20 for a lipstick, if you go to MAC's collection, they have a lipstick called Mehr, M-E-H-R, that I feel like would be a almost exact match to the Tom Ford Indian Rose. It's $20. So it's a little pricier than the ones I'm sharing with you here today, but it's not $55. And that color I feel like would be really, really close to the Indian Rose shade. I would show it to you up close here, but I cannot find mine. I think I might have thrown it out because it expired, got old, I just hadn't used it in so long. So I think that's what happened to it. But from what I remember, that was what jumped out of my mind when I first saw the Indian Rose shade also. So I wanted to put that out there in case you don't mind spending a little bit more money and you want something that is really, really exact. I think you'd be really happy with that one too. If you are interested in any of the lipsticks I shared with you here today, I will have everything listed and linked for you below in the description box in the event that you'd like to reference this video in the future. If you're looking for more Tom Ford dupes, you're more than welcome to check out the video that I did last year. It's still relevant, and I feel like that's an evergreen topic where as long as the lipsticks are available, and I used a lot of really well-known shades that have been around for a long time too, you can still find some really valuable information there. Thank you so much for being here, for taking the time to watch. I want to wish you a beautifully blessed weekend ahead. We are planning to take the kids to a local petting zoo this weekend, maybe do some pony rides with them. It's a little local place that we've been to a few times, and they take such great care of their animals. They're actually a rescue organization, so they take in animals that are no longer wanted. So just to give you an idea, they have a camel there. They've got cows, horses, turtles, pigs, goats, I mean rabbits, all kinds of animals, and it's great. And kids just have such a great time every time they go, so I'm really looking forward to doing that with them. So I hope that you have an equally great weekend. I look forward to seeing you again next week, and looking forward to more videos in Drugstore December.